It started on a normal Tuesday. The sun rose like always. People went to work, kids went to school, planes flew, trains ran. Nothing seemed wrong until 9:42 a.m. Universal Time. That's when the signal came. It was caught by a deep space antenna in South Africa. A strange code. Not a natural wave, it was sharp, direct, and repeating. Then it translated itself. You have 7 days to surrender. Earth belongs to the Zarkeli Dominion now. At first, no one believed it. News anchors laughed. Social media made jokes. Some said it was a prank. Others thought it was a movie ad. But the scientists weren't laughing. In space, something was moving. Fast. Several unknown objects were flying toward Earth, huge and silent. Within hours, every major telescope in the world locked on. The objects weren't asteroids. They were ships, massive, dark, shaped like black knives floating in the void. There were 12 of them, all heading straight for Earth. The world changed that day. At the United Nations emergency meeting, world leaders argued. Should they fire nukes into space? Try to talk? Prepare for war? But nothing they said mattered. Because, on day 2, the power went out. Not just in one city, but across all of Europe and half of Asia. Satellites dropped from orbit. GPS stopped working. Planes fell from the sky. A message played again. You have 5 days to kneel. After that, we cleanse. The panic began. Banks closed. Stores were looted. Roads were blocked. But something else started too. Something stronger. People began to unite. China shared power grids with Russia. America opened tech to India. African nations joined to protect supply chains. It was like the whole world remembered they were one species. One name. Human. By day 4, the ships entered Earth's orbit. They didn't fire. They just hovered, watching, waiting. The skies darkened in parts of the world. Huge shadows floated above cities. Everyone looked up and felt small. Then, on day 5, it happened. A city in Brazil, Manaus, vanished. No noise, no explosion. Just light, then nothing. 6 million people. Gone. No one laughed anymore. General Rowan stood in the underground war room below Washington, D.C., staring at the live feed. So, that's their way of saying hello, he muttered. Dr. Lena Park, an astrophysicist, replied, They're not trying to conquer. They're trying to scare. They want us to surrender without a fight. Rowan nodded. But they picked the wrong species. By day 6, humanity responded. Satellites were rebuilt using secret tech. Hackers from 15 countries worked together to break alien signals. Underground bases activated defense systems built for a war no one thought would come, but someone had expected it. Project Iron Core, a black-budget program buried for years. Weapons made from alien tech found on the moon in 1969. Nobody talked about it, until now. On day 7, the final warning came. You failed to kneel. Cleansing begins, and the sky opened. Thousands of smaller ships broke off from the giant vessels. They dropped through clouds like falling stars, heading toward major cities. Earth was being invaded. Explosions lit up the night sky in London, Tokyo, Lagos, and Los Angeles. Laser blasts melted buildings. Screams filled the air. But Earth didn't kneel. For the first time in human history, every army worked together. Jets from different nations flew side by side. Soldiers shared bullets and bread. Civilians helped each other survive. In New York, a young firefighter named Malik pulled 6 kids from a burning school. In Paris, an old tank rolled through the streets manned by retired veterans who refused to run. In Cairo, a teenage girl with a drone knocked an alien ship from the sky. Everywhere, people fought, not because they were ordered, but because they refused to be broken. High above Earth, in the command ship of the Zarkeli fleet, Commander Threx watched the chaos below. These humans, they resist, he growled. His second-in-command looked nervous. Shall we deploy full cleansing? Threx narrowed his eyes. Not yet. Let them burn their spirit. Then we crush what remains. But he didn't understand humanity. He didn't know that humans don't break under pressure. They sharpen. Back in the war room, General Rowan sent one order: launch Operation Dawnstrike. A secret weapon, hidden in Earth's orbit for 10 years. Powered up. As alien ships rained fire down, humanity prepared its answer. The war for Earth had begun, and humans were not ready to surrender. They were ready to go all in. The sky was on fire. Alien ships flew low over cities, blasting buildings, roads and power stations. Laser beams cut through the air. Explosions shook the ground. But Earth did not fall. Humans had something the enemy didn't understand. They refused to give up. At the main underground base in Colorado, General Rowan stood before a giant screen. Smoke rose from several cities. The alien fleet had started full invasion. But Rowan was calm. We've trained for this. Now, we strike. Beside him, Commander Elena Torres nodded. She was head of Operation Dawnstrike, Earth's secret plan, in case of alien war. Torres typed in a code. High above Earth, 5 stealth satellites powered up. These weren't normal satellites. Each held a special weapon, designed with stolen alien tech from the moon mission in 1969. The world had laughed when they found strange metal on the moon. But in silence, Earth built something deadly, something powerful. Dawnstrike 1 activated, its core lit up with blue plasma. It locked onto the alien command ship over North America and fired. The sky turned white for a second. A massive beam shot up and hit its target. The alien mothership trembled. Its shield broke. Metal cracked. And then it exploded in a ball of fire. The people of Earth watched from below. They cheered. For the first time, the aliens felt pain. In space, Commander Threx stared at the screen. One of our motherships, destroyed, he growled. His officers looked at each other. Humans used forbidden tech, one said. Something old. Something stolen from our kind. Threx slammed his fist. No more games. Begin total purge. But it was already too late. Earth had found its courage. In the streets of London, tanks rolled out of hiding. Hidden defense drones flew into the sky, locking onto alien fighters. Anti-air guns opened fire. Civilians took cover, but many didn't hide. They passed ammo, helped the wounded, shared food. Some even fought, using old rifles, Molotovs, anything they could find. In a lab in Japan, Dr. Lena Park and her team sent out a virus not to humans but to the alien ships. A digital attack. It infected alien software and shut down 3 cruisers. Not bad for Earth tech, she said with a smile. In India, a team of engineers had reprogrammed mining robots to fight. The robots used lasers and claws to bring down 2 alien walkers. Near Delhi, people gathered around clapping and shouting, "We fight together." Even the oceans weren't safe for the invaders. Submarines from 7 countries worked as one. They launched torpedoes at seaborne alien drones. When a massive alien vessel tried to land near the Pacific, torpedoes tore it apart before it reached the shore. The aliens didn't expect this. They thought Earth would surrender. But every time a city fell, another rose. In Argentina, a new resistance group formed, calling themselves the Last Line. They didn't wait for orders. They took supplies, built barricades, and set traps. One trap took out an alien tank using just fuel, wires, and homemade explosives. In space, 2 human warships appeared. They weren't part of any country. These were black ops, secret ships, built years ago. They were fast, invisible to radar, and angry. They flew straight into enemy lines, dodging lasers and fired high-impact missiles. One alien destroyer fell into Earth's gravity and crashed into a desert in Nevada. Humans reached it within hours. They pulled out data, weapons, and something else, a living alien pilot. At the base, General Rowan stood over the captured creature. Its skin was gray-blue. Its eyes were black like glass. It hissed. Rowan leaned in. "You thought we were weak. You thought we'd kneel," the alien hissed louder. "We were waiting." Rowan said. We just needed an excuse to go all in. Across the globe, Earth was pushing back. It wasn't easy. Many died. Cities burned. But the aliens were losing ground. They came expecting fear. They found fury. Commander Threx received the new reports. Another command ship destroyed. 3 fleets gone. Ground troops overwhelmed. Human resistance growing faster than expected. He couldn't believe it. How are they doing this? He shouted. New voice answered. They remember who they are. It was one of his own soldiers, except he wasn't fully Zarkali anymore. He had been captured, interrogated. He had learned Earth's history, humanity's wars, their pain, their strength. You gave them a reason to fight, the soldier said. That was your mistake. Meanwhile, deep below Alaska, something ancient was waking up. The energy from the alien attacks had triggered something in the ice, a hidden base, a machine left behind by something older than humans. Something not from Earth, but not from the Zarkali either. A voice echoed inside the base. Protocol red spark. Activated. Lights turned on. Machines began to hum. Humanity wasn't alone anymore. Back in Washington, Commander Torres looked at the battle map. We've pushed them back, but this isn't over. General Rowan nodded. Then we hit harder. He opened a file. A mission that had never been used. Project. Retaliation. The day Earth fought back had come, and it was just the beginning. The alien ship had crashed hard into the Nevada desert. Smoke rose into the sky. Metal burned. Pieces of the strange black ship were scattered across the sand. Inside, fires raged. Human rescue teams, dressed in radiation suits and armor, rushed, and they expected to find weapons, maybe some alien tech. They didn't expect survivors. Inside the broken ship, they found 4 prisoners. 2 were clearly Zarkali, tall, thin, gray-skinned, with black glassy eyes. They hissed and struggled, but Earth soldiers had trained for this. Electric nets dropped them. The 3rd prisoner was different. He looked human. General Rowan stood behind the glass of the quarantine chamber at the underground base. He stared at the man, mid-30s, short dark hair, strong jaw, eyes full of rage. But he was wearing alien armor. Where did you find him? Rowan asked. Captain Diaz, who led the desert team, replied. He was chained up, but not like a prisoner, more like a bodyguard. He spoke English. Rowan raised an eyebrow. English? The man inside the glass cell stood up. He looked directly at the camera. Then he spoke clearly. I'm not your enemy. But I'm not your friend either. We need to talk before it's too late. In the interrogation room, the man finally sat down. His name? Aaron Voss. Born in 2083. But the year was only 2049. Rowan leaned forward. You're from the future? Aaron nodded. Your future. One where Earth lost. One where the Zarkali took everything. Torres frowned. Then how are you here? Aaron looked at them both. Because someone sent me back. Someone who wanted to change the timeline. Flashback. Inside the alien ship months ago, Aaron was a rebel. He had fought the Zarkali for years in a future where Earth had become a slave colony. The aliens used time travel, but only once. A secret project, to change the past and make sure humans lost early. Aaron had broken into that project. With help from other future humans, he replaced one of the guards and went back in time, right into the heart of the invasion. Now he was here, and he had a warning. The war you're fighting now? Aaron said. It's just the beginning. They're not here to conquer, they're here to test you. Rowan leaned forward. Test us how? To see if you're worth wiping out now or later. Back in the alien ship's wreckage, the 2 captured Zarkali were locked in a high-security vault. They refused to speak at first. But one of them, smaller, with glowing eyes, started talking after being exposed to human music and lights. It said, "This war is not yours to win. The real war is coming, and you're too late to stop it." Dr. Lena Park analyzed DNA from the Zarkali bodies. What she found shocked her. They're not fully alien, she told Rowan and Torres. There's a Something in their blood knew something human-like, almost as if we share a common ancestor. Are you saying we're related to them? Rowan asked. Not exactly, Lena replied. But it means one thing for sure. We weren't their first target. They've done this before. To other species, maybe even to Earth, long ago. Meanwhile, in a secret lab in Antarctica, another discovery was made. The ice had melted around an old structure, older than any human civilization. The walls were covered in strange symbols. Inside, they found mummified bodies, human-like, but not human. They wore armor similar to the Zarkali, and one of them was holding a map, a star chart, with Earth marked in red. Back at the main base, Aaron spoke again. They don't just destroy, they harvest. Harvest what? Torres asked. Aaron looked at her with sad eyes. Hope, strength, potential. They break your spirit first, then your world. That's what they did to mine. General Rowan stood and turned away. Why tell us all this? Aaron clenched his fists. Because something happened, something strange. In your timeline, humanity is fighting back harder than expected. Ships are falling. Resistance is growing faster than ever. He paused. That never happened in my timeline. So why is it happening now? Torres asked. Aaron's voice was low. Because maybe this version of Earth is different. Maybe this time we fight harder, smarter. Suddenly, alarms blared. Multiple alien escape attempts detected. A soldier shouted. In the vault, the smaller Zarkali had used a hidden implant. A mental signal was sent, a coded message. The vault door exploded, the lights went red. Soldiers ran. Gunfire echoed. But then, something strange happened. The Zarkali didn't run. They knelt. All three prisoners, Aaron and the two aliens, knelt in the hallway. Rowan rushed to the scene. What the hell is going on? Aaron looked up, pale. They're coming. The ones even the Zarkali fear. Far beyond Earth in deep space, a new fleet moved. Bigger than the Zarkali ships. Darker. A signal reached Earth's deep space array. A voice old and cold came through. Humanity has awakened too soon, prepare for extinction. Back on Earth, Rowan gave a simple order. Wake up every defense system. Call every nation. Ready the Sky Fleet. Aaron stood beside him now. They tried to break you early, Aaron said. But you're not breaking. You're evolving. Rowan looked at the stars. Good. Let them come. The sky was no longer Earth's alone. Above the clouds, alien ships still floated like dark giants. Some were broken, some still alive. But something new had entered space. Something worse. General Rowan stood in front of the world's leaders, on a secure holocall. Each face looked tired, but behind every face was steel. Earth had changed. He spoke clearly. The first wave was Zarkali, but now something else is coming. We don't know what they are. But they see us, and they're not happy we're still standing. The call ended. The real work began. Cities in the sky 20 years ago, the world had started building secret floating platforms, high-tech sky cities, above the clouds. At the time, they were just experiments, places for research and testing new tech away from politics and war. Now they were being activated as defense hubs. The largest, Skyreach 1, floated over the Pacific Ocean. Hidden from satellites, powered by solar energy and nuclear backups, it held railguns, AI-controlled fighter drones, and weather control systems. Commander Elena Torres was flown there in silence. She stepped out of the aircraft and looked across the horizon. Hundreds of drones buzzed, laser turrets hummed, shields glowed blue. Beautiful, she whispered. Young officer walked up. We've loaded everything, ma'am. Dawn-strike weapons, alien tech modules, even the gravity disruptors. Torres nodded. Good. Because Earth's surface might not survive the next attack. But up here, we make our stand. Meanwhile, deep below the surface of Antarctica, another kind of city stirred. Dr. Lena Park had led a team into the ancient underground ruins discovered in Part 3. What they found was not human, and not Zarkali. It was older, and it was watching them. The walls of the ruins glowed with soft green light. Symbols moved on their own. Not just writing, alive. The energy here was strange. Cold, but ancient. One of the scientists reached toward a panel. The light responded, reaching back like a wave. Then it spoke. This planet holds memories. Buried, locked. You have unlocked the first. Lena froze. We didn't do anything, she said. And yet you are here. The last ones did not pass the test. Let us see if your kind is different. The ruins began to change. Walls shifted. Hidden. Rooms opened. Inside were maps, files, skeletons. One skeleton looked almost human, but its skull had symbols carved into the bone. Lena whispered, they weren't just explorers. They were watchers, maybe even guardians. Above in Earth's orbit, Aaron, Voss, the time traveler from Part 3, stared out the window of a high-atmosphere shuttle. He had seen Earth fall in his timeline. But now he saw something else. Hope. Commander Torres joined him at the window. They're coming faster, she said. That new fleet. It's like nothing we've seen. Aaron nodded. Because they've seen too much resistance. Humanity was supposed to be an easy job, a weak species. But you're not weak. You were just asleep. He turned to her. Now you're awake, and they're scared. Back on the surface, resistance groups across the world began receiving strange transmissions, holographic, messages coming from unknown sources. Each one showed the same thing, a location, deep underground, a signal, a warning, and a choice. In the Brazilian jungle, a group of fighters found a cave with metal doors. Inside was a massive machine, still alive. It lit up as they approached. In Nigeria, a village elder received the same signal. He took a group of youth into the hills and found an ancient satellite dish half buried, blinking blue. These weren't weapons, they were keys. General Rowan paced the command room back in Colorado. All over the world, these messages are waking up. What are they? He asked. Dr. Lena Park's voice came through the comms. Not weapons, not directly. More like a test. The ancients left them for someone worthy. Torres joined the call from Skyreach 1. What happens if we pass the test? Lena hesitated. Then we stop being prey. The new alien fleet entered Earth's orbit. They weren't like the Zarkali. They were quiet. They didn't send messages. No threats. No warnings. Just presence. And then, one by one, Earth's satellites started going blind. Whole networks crashed. The sky cities lost connection. Energy grids blinked. Something was happening. Something subtle. Aaron grabbed a data pad and read the streams. They're not attacking. They're observing, watching how we react. Torres scowled. They want to see fear. Rowan stepped closer to the screen. Let's give them something else. He gave the order. Activate Project Flamewall. Every secret AI system on Earth went live. Hidden weapons lit up. Sky platforms rose higher. Earth-based launch systems prepared their missiles. Undersea drones armed themselves. A message was sent. Into space. It wasn't a threat, it was a promise. You think we fear the dark, but we are the fire. High above Earth, inside the lead alien ship, a tall figure stood. It had no mouth, no eyes. Just a smooth face. It turned to its followers. They remember. They rise. The cycle has shifted. Another replied, Shall we proceed? The leader nodded. Yes. Let us test their soul. Back on Earth, strange lights appeared in the sky. Not ships, portals, openings to another place, another war, and through them came something that wasn't Zarkali, wasn't human, and definitely wasn't friendly. The real war was about to begin. The first portal opened above the Indian Ocean. It was silent. No sound, no shockwave, just a ring of red and black light. Lightning circled its edge. The air itself began to burn around it. Satellites picked it up instantly. Skyreach 1 sent the warning. But by the time Earth's leaders responded, 5 more had opened. 1 over the Arctic, 1 in South America, another in Africa, and 2 just beyond the moon. Something had come through, but no one knew what. In the command room at Skyreach 1, Commander Torres stared at the live feeds. Each portal showed only darkness inside, like a door into deep space. "Why are they just floating there?" she asked. Aaron Voss, the time-traveling soldier, answered quietly. "Because they're watching, waiting to see what we do next." In Antarctica, Dr. Lena Park and her team were still inside the ancient ruins. The walls pulsed with green energy. The ruins were reacting to the portals. A voice came again, deep, old, almost sad. "The test begins. Fire and shadow will fall. Your world is the last," Lena whispered. "What test?" The walls shifted. A section opened. Inside was a glowing crystal, floating, humming with power. It looked like a key. "Take it," the voice said. "It will show you the truth." Meanwhile, in Brazil, one of the jungle resistance teams found their own key. The underground machine they discovered had lit up with red symbols. When touched, it projected a hologram into the sky. It showed a warning: giant alien fleet surrounding Earth, cities burning, oceans boiling. But at the end of the vision, a human figure stood in the middle of fire and held back the darkness. General Rowan stood in the Colorado base with his top staff. The air was tense. "We've dealt with the Zarkeli," he said. "But these portals, this is something else." Aaron Voss stepped forward. "In my timeline, we never saw these. Maybe they were waiting, or maybe they never needed them before. Maybe your world is doing better than mine did." Rowan looked up. "So they're raising the stakes." Then it happened. A ship came out of the largest portal over the Pacific, but it didn't attack, it just hovered. Black metal, sharp edges, glowing red marks across its hull. It looked alive, like it wasn't made, it was grown. A single signal came through all communication channels on Earth. A voice. Deep, smooth, but cold. "You were warned. Surrender your skies. Surrender your flame." Rowan didn't flinch. "We're not surrendering anything." Skyreach 1 launched the first shot. A railgun bolt faster than sound hit the alien ship dead on. It exploded in white light. The alien ship absorbed it, like a sponge drinking water. Then it fired back. A silent beam of darkness hit one of the smaller sky cities nearby. The city didn't explode, it simply disappeared. Gone. Panic spread fast, but so did anger. All across Earth, humans didn't run. They fought harder. Sky fleets launched, submarines surfaced, jet squadrons formed in the clouds. Even civilians joined, uploading drone plans, coding virus swarms, building resistance bunkers. Humanity had been pushed to the edge before, but this time, it wasn't breaking. It was standing. In space, the alien fleet sent down strange soldiers. Not machines. Not life as we know it. They looked like walking shadows, shifting, flickering. They didn't speak. They just moved. They landed in Paris, Cairo, and Sydney. The humans met them with fire. In Sydney, a resistance fighter named Maya Khan took down 3 shadow soldiers using a hacked energy rifle and homemade explosives. She broadcasted it live. "We're not afraid. You want Earth? Come earn it." Back in Antarctica, Lena Park finally activated the crystal. It showed her something unbelievable. A memory. Thousands of years ago, Earth had fought off an alien invasion before. The ruins were not just buildings, they were battle stations from a forgotten war. The enemy back then? The same ones now. Only back then, Earth had help. Another species, one now long extinct. But the ruins still remembered the war, and they had one last gift. A message appeared on Lena's tablet. Direct from the ruins, coordinates, buried deep under the Himalayas. Rowan got the message. What's there? Lena's voice was calm, but urgent. A weapon, one made for this war, one built by the last defenders of Earth, but only those with the will to fight can unlock it. Aaron, Torres, and a small team boarded a stealth shuttle. Their mission, reach the Himalayas, unlock whatever was buried, and pray it still worked. The sky around them burned. Alien drones chased them. Shadow beasts followed through portals, but they kept flying, because Earth still had one last card to play. In the blackness of space, the alien leader watched the chaos below. It didn't move, didn't speak, until a second figure stepped beside it, a smaller one. Zarkily, it bowed. They are resisting harder than expected, it said. The tall being responded, then it is time. Release the second wave. Burn their hope. The Zarkily looked up. What if they survive? The being's voice was colder than before. Then we begin the final test. The stealth shuttle sliced through storm clouds over the Himalayas. Snow-covered peaks rose like frozen teeth. The sky behind them was red, portals still hung open, and alien ships glowed in the distance. Inside the shuttle, Aaron Voss checked the coordinates again. 500 meters below the ice, he said. That's where it's buried. Commander Torres adjusted her weapon. Let's just hope it's still there. They landed on a narrow plateau. The air was thin and cold. The team moved quickly. Aaron, Torres, 2 soldiers, and a drone scout. They followed the signal deeper into a frozen cave. As they walked, strange symbols appeared on the walls, faint and pulsing. Aaron touched one. The cave opened. The rock moved like a door. A hidden shaft revealed stairs made of smooth black metal. Aaron looked at Torres. We found it. Meanwhile, on Earth's surface, the war worsened. In London, alien shadow soldiers swarmed the streets. Humans fought with everything: guns, drones, hacked alien weapons. Civilians turned into soldiers overnight. In Nairobi, a local resistance group hacked an alien walker and used it to protect their neighborhood. A grandmother drove the walker like a tank, laughing as she fired plasma bolts. Every city had its heroes now. Earth was fighting with heart and with rage. Back in the Himalayas, the stairs led to a massive underground chamber. It was dark and silent. Then lights blinked on, one by one. In the center of the room floated something that looked like a ship, but smaller, sleek, black, covered in glowing blue patterns. It was suspended in the air by magnetic fields. Torres stepped forward. What is it? She asked. Aaron's eyes widened. It's not just a weapon, he said. It's a war core. Torres looked confused. A what? Aaron took a deep breath. In my timeline, we never found one, but legends talked about it. A war core is a living weapon, built by the first defenders of Earth, not just to fight, but to remember every war, every battle, and learn. A console lit up nearby. A voice echoed through the chamber. You have found me. I waited. You came. Torres stepped forward. Are you alive? The voice replied. I am the last memory of the Skyborn. My purpose is defense. My power is locked until tested. Aaron frowned. Tested how? The chamber shifted. Suddenly, walls turned to screens. The team was surrounded by holograms of Earth, different time periods, ancient wars, alien invasions long forgotten. The war core spoke again. You must prove your world still fights for itself. Show me your fire. In that moment, the chamber scanned Torres. Flashes of her life showed on the screens. Her family lost in the Zarkily attack. Her years training. Her battles. Her sacrifices. The war core spoke softly. You burn with purpose. You may command. The war core unlocked. The weapon unfolded like a flower. Arms, wings, cannons, energy flowed through it. It attached itself to a special interface. Only Torres could control it now. Suddenly, the entire cave shook. An alien dropship was landing above. Torres grabbed her gear. "We have to get out. Now." Aaron nodded. "And take the war core with us." Outside, snow exploded as shadow soldiers dropped in. The battle began, but this time Earth didn't run. The war core rose into the sky, hovering, humming, alive. It fired its first shot. A bolt of energy shot out and vaporized 3 alien attackers instantly. It moved like it knew what to do. Torres stood in its control field, half human, half machine now. Aaron looked at her in awe. "You're flying it, like it's part of you." She smiled. "Maybe it is." Back in space, the alien leader turned to its fleet. "They have awakened the old fire." The Zarkali beside him hissed. "Shall we destroy the planet now?" The leader stared into the void. "No. We bring the darkness. All of it." Behind them, the largest portal opened wider, twisting, unstable. Something massive stirred inside. On Earth, the war core flew across the sky, fast as lightning. In one pass, it cleared hundreds of alien drones. It sent code to resistance, groups giving them targeting data. It used Earth satellites to scan and jam enemy comms. Torres shouted over the comms, "We're not alone anymore. We've got the old gods of war on our side." Rowan, watching from the command center, smiled for the first time in days. Now this is a game changer. In Antarctica, Dr. Lena Park received a new message from the ruins. The first key has been accepted. Others wait. The final lock remains. She sent the message to Rowan. There's more. More war cores. More hidden weapons. Rowan nodded. Then we find them. All of them. But time was running out. The largest portal above the Earth began pulling matter into it. Pieces of space rock, energy from nearby systems. Even gravity shifted. Aaron looked up. "That's not a ship," he said. Torres answered grimly. "That's a world killer." The war had reached its final stage. The shadows were coming for everything. But now humanity had a weapon not just made for war, but for hope. The sky was no longer blue. Above Earth, the largest alien portal had grown wider than the moon. It pulsed with black and red light, sucking in debris, satellites, even space dust. It was not just a gate, it was a mouth, and it was opening to swallow the planet. On the surface, humanity was fighting harder than ever. In Berlin, a group of engineers turned a crashed alien drone into a mobile turret. In Mumbai, students built jamming towers from scrap metal and used old cell phone towers to block alien signals. In New York, a street artist painted giant wings on a broken wall. Under it, he wrote, "We don't die easy." From the sky, the war core flew like a falling star. Commander Torres stood inside it, her arms linked into the system, her voice commanding its power. The weapon felt alive now. It didn't just shoot, it listened, it learned. Each time it fought, it got stronger. Beside her in the shuttle, Aaron Voss was already planning the next move. "There are more cores," he said. "We just need to find them." Torres nodded. "Then let's give the world a reason to keep fighting." At Skyreach 1, General Rowan was watching maps covered in red. Enemy forces had landed on every continent. Cities were burning. Air was thick with smoke and plasma. But something strange had happened in the last 48 hours. The enemy was losing ground. Not everywhere, but in pockets. "We're learning their patterns," Rowan said. "We're adapting." His assistant looked up. "Do you think we can win?" Rowan smiled slightly. "We're human. We don't win by being stronger. We win by never stopping." Deep under Antarctica, Dr. Lena Park unlocked another message from the ruins. This one was clearer. There were 7 cores. Only 3 remain. 1 underwater. 1 in the desert. 1 buried in memory. She didn't understand the last part. What does that mean? Buried in memory. But there was no time to think. An enemy ship had found her location. In Tokyo, a teenager named Kay hacked into the alien targeting system using an old VR headset and stolen Wi-Fi from a crashed ship. He redirected drone strikes away from a Igeri school, saving hundreds. In Lagos, a grandmother coded a malware virus using an old phone and sent it through a fallen alien relay. Within hours, dozens of enemy walkers shut down across Africa. Humanity had stopped just surviving. It was fighting back, not with just weapons, but with brains, courage, and rage. Above the Earth, in orbit, the alien leader stood aboard the command ship. The Zarkeli beside him shook nervously. "They're not giving up," it said. "They're evolving." The tall being answered without turning. "They always did. That was the point." The Zarkeli looked confused. "You wanted them to resist?" The leader finally turned. The real test was never destruction. It was to see what species would rise when pushed past the limit. The Zarkeli's voice cracked. "And if they pass?" The alien leader's eyes glowed dark red. "Then they will become what we once were, gods of survival." In the ocean depths, a drone sub launched by a coastal lab found something sleeping. A second war core. It was shaped like a sea creature, fluid, smooth, glowing with deep blue light. As soon as the drone touched it, the core activated. In the deserts of Chile, a group of orphans found another one. It was buried under rock, hidden in what looked like an ancient meteor crater. The children touched it and the core woke up, scanning them, learning from them. It connected to satellites and sent a signal to Skyreach 1. Rowan read the message. "The cores are choosing us. Not the strongest, the bravest." At the same time, Torres received a strange pulse from the war core. A new message, one she hadn't heard before. It came in a voice that wasn't machine. It was human. It sounded like her father, who died years ago in the First Zarkeli War. The voice said, "You've done well, daughter, but it's not over. The last key is not a place. It's inside you. The memory is you." Torres froze. Aaron looked at her. "What is it?" she whispered. "I am the last core." Everything made sense. Her body had survived things no one else had. Her instincts, her connection to the core, her bloodline. It had all been planned long ago. The defenders had hidden part of their technology in human DNA, and hers had it. She wasn't just a commander. She was a weapon made human. In space, the giant portal began to collapse inward, but not as a retreat. It was forming something. Folding space. Creating a shape larger than anything Earth had ever seen. A final ship. Or maybe a machine. Aaron stared at the readings. "That's a planet breaker." Torres looked ahead. "Then let's break it first." The three activated. War cores rose together into the sky. Torres in the lead. The others remote-controlled through human minds brave enough to sink. The Earth shook. The sky cracked, and humanity flew up. Not as victims, but as the storm. The stars were gone, blocked by the size of the thing rising from the portal. It wasn't a ship. It wasn't a station. It was a weapon the size of a moon, shaped like a black eye, with rings of fire turning around it. The core glowed with dark energy. This was the final move from the enemy, a world breaker. It had destroyed planets before. Now, it had come for Earth. Commander Torres stood at the front of the fleet. 3 war cores, 1 skybound, 1 seaborne, and 1 desert-forged, flew, in formation beside her, all linked through the minds of their human pilots, all glowing like burning suns. She wasn't afraid, because for the first time humanity wasn't defending, it was attacking. In the command center at Skyreach 1, General Rowan watched every screen. He saw humans around the world rising, not just soldiers, but ordinary people. Teachers loading weapons, farmers guarding bunkers, hackers crashing alien code, children carrying water to fighters. No one had run, no one had bowed. Rowan gave the order. Open every sky cannon. Send every drone. Tell Earth, this is the final hour. We end it now. High above in space, the alien leader stood inside the eye. It watched the human war cores rise like fireflies. The Zarkeli beside it whispered, They should have been crushed by now. The leader replied, "No, we thought they were soft. But they were only sleeping." The battle started. Alien drones swarmed Earth like locusts. The war cores moved first. Torres shot through them like a comet, her core splitting into pieces mid-flight, targeting 10 enemies at once, then reforming. The Sea Corps launched water plasma into the swarm, turning hundreds of drones into mist. The Desert Corps melted enemy ships using heat waves and sonic force. Then Earth's weapons joined in. Sky cannons fired in sequence. Laser towers glowed from mountaintops. Satellites beamed down ion strikes. Humanity threw everything into the sky. The blackness above Earth lit up like a firestorm. Still, the eye descended, slow, heavy, unstoppable. Its outer ring spun faster, charging something. Back on Earth, Dr. Lena Park finally solved the last puzzle, the memory key. Torres wasn't just connected to the war core, she was its final code. Lena sent a direct signal to her, "You're not just a pilot. You are the command. The cores obey you. You can wake them all." Torres heard her voice inside the war core, and then a light came on. All over Earth, in old ruins, under oceans, inside mountains. 4 more war cores woke up. They had been waiting, for her, for a human with fire in her soul. They rose from their graves like giants made of light and steel. Now Earth had 7. The alien eye saw this and opened its main cannon, a black beam charged in its center, big enough to crack the planet. Zarkali screamed. "They can't stop that." The alien leader stayed still, but inside, for the first time, it felt doubt. On the surface, resistance groups saw the cannon charging. They had no more missiles, no more bombs, but they had faith, and they shouted into radios, into cameras, into the sky, "Do it now. Go all in." Torres called out across the War Corps network. Her voice was calm, steady, bright. "This is for every human who refused to kneel. This is for every fire they tried to put out. This is for Earth. 7 war corps combined, spinning, merging, their energy, building a blast not meant to destroy but to burn through the stars." Torres gave one last command. "Light it up." The sky exploded. The combined energy beam hit the alien eye dead center, not just a hit, but a piercing. The blast shot through the eye, through the portal, through the other side of the galaxy. The eye screamed. It cracked. It broke. It died. The eye. Zarkali turned to run, but the shockwave hit them first. The portal collapsed, sucking what was left of the invaders into nothing. The stars returned. The silence came back, and Earth still stood. Humanity didn't cheer right away. It took a few seconds, then radios beeped, then someone laughed, then someone cried, then billions of people, on rooftops, in ruins, in bunkers, in space, cheered, because they had done the impossible, not just survived, but won. At Skyreach 1, General Rowan raised a cup of cold coffee. To the stubborn ones, Dr. Lena Park watched from Antarctica and smiled. "We were never weak," she whispered, "just waiting." In the sky, Torres floated. In the war core, she looked down at the world, blue burned but alive. Aaron's voice came through the comm. "So, what now?" Torres laughed. "Now? Now we rebuild?" She paused. "And if they ever come again, we won't wait." Final message. Broadcast. Across Earth. They thought war would break us, but war gave us purpose. They thought fear would stop us, but fear only lit the match. They thought they'd end us, but we were never scared of the dark. We were just waiting for a reason to burn.